you tell us your name and how long you've been a personal trainer?
So my name is Joseph Klages. I go by JR, and I've been personal training for about 1.5 years now.
Okay, through which organization did you become a certified trainer, and what steps did you take?
So I initially started here at UNLV as an in-house certified personal trainer, but then on a national level, so that I could work different places, I got certified through the National Council for Certified Personal Trainers. It's the NCCPT. And then from there, what was the next part of the question?
What steps did you take?
So step-wise, there's an accreditation process for your national certification. It's online coursework, but getting some working experience here at UNLV and in combination with that online coursework was really beneficial. Having the background of kinesiology, kind of that field of study, also aided me. I think it's definitely difficult for somebody who has no background in this to get into personal training, but I'd say going through the certification process and then being in the field as I kind of went through getting a national certification, or my steps, basically.
Why did you choose to become a personal trainer?
So I decided I needed to bring kind of my work life onto campus, and I was always avid and spent a lot of time in the gym, something that I was passionate about myself, and thought, well, I like doing this so much, working out on my own time, staying healthy, staying in shape, that maybe I could help other people do it. Of course, like the convenience of being on campus, being in the gym environment, but it kind of grew from there. It went from being like, I like to do this and I want to work in this environment because it's fun and I like to work out, but then grew into, I want to help other people kind of adapt this lifestyle or adopt this lifestyle, and just progressively got more and more into helping other people. I think was the main motivation for getting into personal training.
In your opinion, what is the hardest part about motivating clients to live a healthier lifestyle?
I'd say breaking old habits tends to be something that's very difficult with people in the beginning. They're trying to adopt a new lifestyle in general, holding themselves accountable to coming into the gym, coming into some type of physically active environment. It may not be a gym setting, maybe it's just, I want you to go out and run on the track for 30 minutes or go out and walk in the park. And people have a difficult time just creating that accountability. Like we'll schedule in a class time, we'll schedule in, I have to be at an appointment, I have to be at a meeting or a doctor's appointment. But getting people to take ownership for their own health can be a very difficult process. And I think a lot of times that's why people reach out to personal trainers, because it is an accountability factor. They're like, if I'm paying you, I will show up, which isn't what I want it to be for them. I want it to be more that they're motivated to come in on their own, but if I'm that initial step, then that's great. But it's just accountability, and I think getting them to just adjust to scheduling different times and places and all that kind of stuff.
What is your favorite part of being a personal trainer?
I think seeing the growth and development in people, not just talking about like muscles and weight loss and all that kind of stuff, but you see changes in personality, changes in confidence, self-esteem, things like that. You help initially somebody develop the best version of themselves, and just seeing people grow in their personality after they've gone through maybe a physical change, an emotional change, things that they didn't have before. They develop in time through exercise as a tool initially, but so much comes with it and beyond just the physical changes. And I think for me, I didn't really look at personal training as something like that in the beginning. I just saw it more as like, oh, people just want to get bigger, people want to get stronger, people want to be thinner, that kind of thing. And that's very, surface level. It's much deeper than that. So just seeing a lot of the emotional changes and character changes in people is a really cool part of it.
How many clients a week do you train, and what resources do you use to help create the programs for your clients?
So in the very beginning, I probably worked with anywhere between 2 and 3 people a week, a few hours a week. So maybe 2 times a week with one person for an hour each session. Now in total, right now, I usually work between 5 and 7 people a week. Those each time about an hour session. Resource-wise, for the programs that I develop for those people independently, there's a ton of them out there. I use my own national certification. They put out tons of resources on their online website and formats. I get a lot of insight here at UNLV just taking kinesiology coursework, but then there's other, mostly online platforms. YouTube is a plethora of information. If you want to learn about an exercise, you can just Google search at YouTube and those kind of things. But for specific program styles, definitely things like ACE, which is the American Council on Exercise. I utilize a thing called Functional Movement Systems, FMS, for mobility work. but a lot of just online resources predominantly. It's convenient and it works for somebody who's very busy.
What tips would you give to up-and-coming personal trainers?
I'd say initially you have to have patience, be empathetic, be understanding. Like I've kind of mentioned in a few of the different questions and answers and things like that, it's something that for most people is completely different. When I started with personal training, I'm like, oh, I'm going to work with bodybuilders, or I'm going to work with athletes. That's typically not your population of people that you work with. It's people who've never, been involved in an athletic sport or even walked into a gym before, maybe because they were afraid to. So have patience with people, understand, that they may not always be on time, but they'll get there. They'll adjust. And always be willing to adapt and work around whatever conditions they might have going on. Be supportive and just be fluid with whatever you're trying to do. Learn, grow, be flexible. You're not going to know everything as you're coming into it, and you're going to be continually learning. I think that's why I enjoy it most. So be empathetic, be adaptive, and be ready and willing to learn a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all.